And welcome back, everyone. This is Ellington, and here we go. We are back with some Total War Rome 2. Now, today we have got ourselves a 3 versus 3 on none other than the city of Carthage. Them barbaric Carthaginians. As you can see, we've got some cool factions on the field today. In my opinion, at least. I guess everybody's got their preferences, but some factions I do really enjoy. So first of all, for the defenders, we have got Eravaki. Eravaki being commanded by Dairy Farmer. Now, being that this is starting out with Dairy Farmer, you could probably assume you're right. Not only can you assume, I'm going to confirm right here, right now. This is an in-house Dragon Corps fight. Now, joining Eravaki on the battlefield, we have Nabatea being commanded by Titty Rond. Then finally, for the defenders, we have got Massilia. Massilia being commanded by Not So Mexy. He's not so Mexy, but he's kind of Mexy. You know what I mean? For the attackers, we've got Carthage, trying to reclaim their holy golden city. Carthage being commanded by Bloody Stranger. We've got my favorite faction in the game, Lusitani, being commanded by Grey Wolf. And finally, for the attackers, we have got, by the way, Cav comes out. For the attackers, finally, we have Nervii being commanded by Alton. And as you can see, starting off this battle, we've had one Desert Heavy Lancer come out, get 116 kills on some Celtic warriors and annihilating them. We have a massive sally out by Eravaki with slingers included, which is basically creating a land battle over here, which means the slingers can literally just do whatever they want. So, kind of a fun little thing there. Lusitani does have 2 slingers here. He's got some Iberian cavalry, Iberian swords. So the Desert Heavy Lancers are still out here, and they do have a second unit of them. Now, this is a pretty standard attack for Carthage. Typically what you see is an attack right here with a primary focus usually here and here, with a lot of artillery fire hitting this area here. It seems to be basically how they're going to go about it, but they also have to account for the fact of this army out here, so they have to, this could be a little bit interesting of how like pressure from this side could affect how things are going or how they progress in this center as well. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. The Desert Heavy Lancers coming in. Now this is the new unit, the fresh unit of Desert Heavy Lancers. The other one right here, 230 kills now. He's got the Iberian Slingers, and he's also got the Iberian Giant Ballista. Got the Nervii Heavy, or Mighty Horse, excuse me, trying to come in and put a stop to that. And he probably will. The Nervii's Gallic Hunters are wide open. Sorry about the pause there. I was taking a drink. Yeah, so the Gallic Hunters were pretty. I guess not as much now. The Iberian Slingers are still wide open. The Mighty Horse trying to hold them back, but they're probably going to die soon. You can see more Lusitani shifting over this way. Lusitani, unfortunately, not the greatest faction for holding off cavalry. Here we go, more and more Lusitani showing up. Balearic Slingers, veteran shield warriors. The Iberian Giant Ballista, unfortunately, is gone. And I bet you Carthage over here is probably blasting off his artillery, trying to use it as quick as possible, because, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't think they're finding it as a very, very defendable thing at the moment. You know what I mean? Now, what's interesting that I see is that where typically you see a really heavy defense in this general area here, that is not happening. So, because Aravaki shifted his army outside, it is basically leaving the interior defenses down to a 2v, kind of, basically 2v2. But it pretty much means that the two remaining defenders, they just don't have enough troops to defend all this ground. So Nabatea has fallen back to the stairs, and Massilia has fallen back more towards the point of Carthage being right here. Nabatea, one of their main goals is going to be holding this cliffside. Once this cliffside goes, this whole area pretty much becomes untenable as a defense for the defenders. So Nabatea is basically going to have to hold on to that for as long as humanly possible. Now, okay, I was literally about to say I think what we're going to see is Aravaki coming back into the settlement, but I just don't think he's quite finding many more targets anymore. Now that most of the attackers are now into the settlement, he just doesn't have as many targets. So I think he's going to return with his old army. He is leaving his cavalry outside. The Desert Heavy Lancers at 421 kills with only 5 men left. And then we have an Iberian sword out here as well. So as they walk up the wall area here, they are continuing to take some of the gates, the towers, stopping them from shooting them in the progress as well.
Find your targets!
As you can see, we've got Nervii. Nervii charged in with some Celtic warriors taking on a Desert Levy. So the Desert Levy here from Nabatea, an okay unit, but the Celtic warriors should win this. Late Libyan hoplites coming in as reinforcement. Now we do have some archer fire coming from Nabatea. I don't know that that's terribly worth it. Those are just pretty cheap units they're shooting. But I'm pretty sure we're about to see him shift his fire here to the Gallic Hunters. We have 2 Gallic Hunters from Nervii now engaging. Now on the front line here, Carthage is going in. We got mercenary Samnite warriors. We've got late Libyan hoplites. But Libyan infantry coming in. Cretan archers shooting up onto shooting the mercenary Gallic Hunters of Massilia. The Libyan hoplites are gone. Getting some really good fire here from the mercenary Gallics. Nabatean heavy archers. So they've got one down to 73 men. They've got one that they just started firing. Looks like Aravaki is also going to bring his cavalry inside. Desert Levy at 34 kills, Celtic Warriors at 37. I'm honestly surprised it's that even. And actually, the Celtic Warriors winning, well, I guess it is because of the archer fire. Because of the archer fire, the Celtic Warriors definitely took way more damage than they typically would in that fight. We do also have a Nabatean sword right here in reserve. Fight, men! Fight! They're still shooting. So they kind of split up here. They have another fresh unit of Gallics here. So they have 1 Gallic, 2 Gallics. I think the third one they were able to get out of there. Maybe not. Maybe Nabatea was able to finish off that final Gallic Hunter, because I don't see it at the moment. Although it's a Gallic Hunter, I probably can't see it. Never mind. It might be hidden at this point. It was a small unit. Where did the cavalry go? Okay, the cavalry came all the way over here. He also brought a noble cavalry general. So it looks to me as if... So at least his slingers, Aravaki seems to be sending them to reinforce the main point. I don't think it's a terrible idea because it doesn't seem like they're going to put a huge amount of effort into the hill. It does look like they're going to put a lot of their pressure right towards the point itself. I'm curious as to if they will try to take anything out for a tortoise to bust down another wall, possibly. It could be something they may try to do later in the battle, you know, just to kind of expose this defensive position a little bit more. Got Axe Warriors coming in. Interesting, so actually a lot of Axe Warriors from Massilia, but we do also have some Thorax. So kind of a hodgepodge here. We've got a mixture of the Massilian Thorough Spears, which are basically just a better Thorough Spear. We have a few Thorax Swords, and then a few Axe Warriors. Axe Warriors should do relatively good when going up against things like the Samnite Warriors with their heavy their heavy armor. So that's a good call. They will probably struggle, not probably, they will struggle against things like the Veteran Shield Warriors, though. Massilian Cavalry Gen coming forward using a battle rhythm on his Axe Warriors. We've also got a battle rhythm on the Libyan Infantry from Carthage. Now the archer is pulled back. You can see he had his archers up here shooting into that combat. Archers had to pull back because of the Cretan archers of Carthage. And then the Balearic Slingers of Lusitani, I don't really think they've got much of an angle at anything right now. But the Cretan archers now shooting into the Axe Warriors. He may want to shift his formation a little bit, putting his shields more in the direction of those archers. Look at this. So Nabatea over here actually gaining back some ground. Aravaki kind of providing a backup, but still back behind there a bit. Iberian swords getting shot by Gallic hunters. Nothing in the center as of yet. So Veteran Shield Warriors went in. So the Veteran Shield Warriors at this point, that's a 37 kills, and they've only been in combat for a small amount of time. You got to remember they've got 30 charge bonus and a 50 melee attack. Veteran Shield Warriors are really, really good in melee combat. There's honestly few things that can beat, on a similar level at least, there's few mid-tier infantry that can beat a Veteran Shield Warrior toe-to-toe, just man-to-man. You know, when it comes to, like, well, you just shoot them, yeah, I get it. But if you just throw my unit versus your unit, there are not very many things that can take on a Veteran Shield Warrior toe-to-toe. They are really, really good. Look at him, 75 kills. Now he's getting torn apart by the Gallic Hunters. That is the downside to Lusitani, if you didn't know that already. They're very, very high-octane, fast, go, 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 go kind of army. You can't sit in one place with them because the longer you sit in one place, the more you get hit by things like archers or slingers or javelins. You know, so it's one of those things that as a Lusitani player, you need to go. You got to run, you know what I mean? You got to be quick, decisive. You know, he also brought his Balearic Slingers forward. The Balearic Slingers should be able to kick these Gallic Hunters away and keep them off of his Veteran Shield Warriors. Now, the downside is Aravaki is now showing up with his own Slingers. So that's going to put a little bit of a damper on this counter tactic here from Lusitani. It's going to be kind of interesting how they go about this because they're very evenly matched. Carthage engaging some Thorax swords. The Libyan infantry should do really well here. The Libyan infantry is basically just the better version of the Thorax sword. So you can see the Gallic Hunters did retreat. So now we've got 2 Balearic Slingers versus 2 Balearic Slingers. But the Lusitani Balearic Slingers, I believe, were already hurt when they went into this fight, and they don't have as good of a position. You can see the Aravaki Slingers are able to set up clean 2 units straight up, ready to fire. While the Lusitani Slingers have this small little area here that he is trying to, fit 2 Slinger units into. It just doesn't work very well. So it's just a battle of positions, right? The Aravaki Slingers just had the better spot, plain and simple. Got the Mercenary Samnite Warriors, 143 kills, 76 men left. What's kind of funny is they are kind of tanking a little bit of the Slinger shots for the Veteran Shield Warriors. They're still going to go down, but the Samnite Warriors helped. Sorry about that. Libyan Infantry, 117 kills. Thorax got 12. Now here comes another Veteran Shield Warrior. I'm not sure this is a good idea. There's nothing really to fight right now, so as you're advancing forwards, you're exposing yourself to this, you're exposing yourself to this, and not only that, if you did get into combat, right here, you have a kill box. So Lusitani, I would probably just hold on. You know what I mean? Now here we go, Nervii Oathsworn. Now this is getting to be a little bit of a sticky situation for the defenders, okay? Nabatea right now is not in position to do anything to help right now. Nabatea, what they probably best thing they could do right at this moment is they may be able to put some pressure that might, take some attention away from this push. But right now, this right here is looking a little bit iffy. Massilia is basically the only one set up right now for this defense. We do have a couple Aravaki units, but Aravaki doing exactly what I said Lusitani should not be doing. Aravaki kind of keeping his kind of squishy Scutari back towards the back, basically insisting on the defenders coming to him because he can't, or the attackers coming to him because he can. Balearic Slinger's having to kind of get out of dodge at this point. He was getting some really good shots off, but now he's got to run away. Got some Massilian Thorough Spears defending here. Now you got to remember the pathways go like this and then like this. You can also go like that, but that's pretty much it. So your main way into the final settlement is there, or the final circle is there, pretty much. Because the statue here is the final point. Libyan Infantry going to go in on the Massilian Thorough Spears. Massilian Thorough Spears getting off some Javies first. And they do have the Libyan Infantry outnumbered, so they may do okay at this point. Normally I would say the Libyan Infantry should win that pretty easily, and then especially with the Balearic Slinger help, that is also going to kind of swing things, I think, in the favor. Oh, good job. He's going to take some losses doing this, but he's exposing the flank of the Libyan Infantry even more. But I do think that it's kind of a tough thing. What I would at least see, and it looks like they're doing it, Aravaki, I think, needs to at least be sending his troops to the final point, because right now they need it. Massilia is running low on infantry, Aravaki only has a few units currently available for this defense. Nabatea, I think that them being up here for a little while is still okay, but I do think that it should be in the near future plans that he should start adjusting towards the final point. Okay, so Massilian Cav going to come over and kind of scare off the Carthaginian general. General came in, looks got 6 kills, not bad. Not bad at all. Slingers really don't have much of a target. They could if they wanted to. If he wanted to be a little risky, they could probably move up right here and maybe shoot the back of that Oathsworn. They might even be able to get it from there. Yeah, it looks like they can. Maybe. Oathsworn 153 men. But just ripped through that Massilian Thorough Spear. Now the Libyan infantry going after the Balearic Slingers. Run away! I like how both of them just stood there. That kind of hurts, actually. Because this one Balearic kind of is going to... Oh. Alright, maybe it wasn't too much. Oh, it was. 52. Then on the initial, or like the kind of the primary attack here, the center, I guess you could say, we have Lusitani now coming. This is not a bad idea because it kind of nullifies the slingers a little bit, and the archers have a little bit more awkward of a shot. So I don't mind this right now. Celtic slingers, I don't think we're supposed to be in that combat. Now, the Iberian swordsmen are in the front line here, but I think he's trying to get the veteran shield warriors in there. Now with Cretan archers moving forward, that should help even more in kicking off those slingers and the archers. Thus, it should allow Lusitani to better get into this attack. Libyan infantry taking on Scutari. The Libyan infantry, pretty even. Pretty even. Both good units. I love the red and yellow of Aravaki. Just a very cool color combo. General standing here. Looks like he's just given some abilities. I think he battle rhythm to this unit a moment ago. And here come the reinforcements of Aravaki coming in now. And also, I'm assuming the out of ammo Nabatean heavy archers. Yeah, Carthage really doesn't want to walk into this, and I completely and totally understand why. You don't just have a two-way box, you have a three-way box with the archers up on the hill. Because at the moment, they don't really have a great way to get rid of those archers, so... Iberian Scorpion up here has been doing some shooting too. Looks like he's using Fire Shot. He's basically just getting free shots on the Oathsworn. Now this little bit of a counter push here by Nabatea, probably not going to amount to much, but it is causing a little bit of a, like, fracas at this point. It's causing Nervii and Lusitani to have to kind of, like, micro over here and do things that they don't really want to do because they're focusing on the other parts of the battlefield. Cretan Archers, 175 kills. Nicely done. Now the Oathsworn, I believe this Oathsworn was over here. It shifted into this combat. Iberian Swords, 80 kills, 62 men. Veteran Shield Warriors, 89 kills with 121 men. Cretan Archer should still have ammo, and I think he is shooting. I think he's in a fight with the Gallic Hunters at this point. Lusitani advancing over here. Lusitani is kind of in a tough situation because the counter he would have to Aravaki is mostly beat up or dead, which is his own Balearic Slingers. Aravaki's Slingers are pretty healthy and looks like they have pretty good ammo. And Lusitani doesn't. So Lusitani is kind of in a sticky situation in the fact that he just doesn't have a great opportunity of getting into combat. You know, over here, Aravaki can basically just kite him all day and shoot him and run away, and shoot him and run away. You know, so I don't know. It's going to be interesting. A lot of Aravaki's troops are going to need to kind of chill for a little bit because they just had a really long run to the final point, which means they're going to be pretty exhausted. This here getting really, really dicey. Balearic Slingers, they might be out of ammo at this point. Yeah, they are. What about the Gallic Hunters? Yep, they're out of ammo too. So I guess on the defender's side as well, they're also kind of running into the same problem. These guys have ammo though. These guys have ammo. So looks like Lusitani is going to come in, finish that unit, and probably send some stuff this way. You can see Oathsworn here, 2 chevrons, 261 kills. So they have been getting good value kills. Mercenary Thorough Spear, or Massilian Thorough Spears now kind of holding back the Samnite Warriors and the Oathsworn. Now, what Massilia did is he condensed this defense to 1 unit, thus allowing him to flex 2 units over here to kind of counterattack against the Oathsworn and the Samnite Warriors. But the Veteran Shield Warriors are going to have a heyday against these Massilian Thorough Spears. Holy crap, look at the kills skyrocket just from that charge. Defend, men, fight! Fight to the last man! Same thing as Aravaki. I love the bright, vibrant colors of Lusitani. Let's see, so Nabatea continuing to be a nuisance on this far, far left side. But most of his core army is still just kind of chilling right here in this spot. He knows that he has to hold this cliffside as long as he possibly can. But it's a very fine line between holding the cliffside as long as you can and leaving the point defenseless. So it's going to be interesting. Do they play that correctly? You know, because some of these units could be really useful at the point, but you can't give up the cliffside too early or too quickly. As soon as that cliffside is gone, it really compromises this. Pretty much so from that cliffside, if I remember correctly, archers can typically basically hit all the way to here, which is rough. Lusitani now taking on Aravaki in a stand-up fight. Iberian Swords, though, taking on Veteran Shield Warriors. Veteran Shield Warriors going to win that every day. Another depleted one coming in as well. All the way over here. Oh my god, look at what they just did. 176 kills. But, look at that. Nabatea just blasting that veteran shield warrior in the back. Cavalry going for archers. We have 3 units of archers exposed. Lusitani nobles may be adjusting here. So the nobles catching the cavalry, but the cavalry kind of caught the Cretans, but I'm pretty sure the Cretans are out of ammo at this point anyways. The other Lusitani, the other Lusitani noble may be looking to go into combat. This attack here has basically been defeated. This one here going well, but the bounce power is heavily in the defender's favor at this point. And I bet you a lot of you guys are looking back to like 5 minutes ago when I was like, yeah, it'd be, you know, Nabatea's forces maybe you needed at the point, and you're probably going, what the fuck are you talking about? The bounce power. Because I don't think I had looked at the bounce power when I was talking about that. Oh, well, I guess. That's all right. At this point, we can see that the bounce power is very heavily in the defender's favor. The attackers pretty much out of troops at this point. Lusitani, the veteran shield warriors did decent, it looks like. Got an Oathsworn, well, depleted Oathsworn, taking on some Nabatean swords. 124 kills on the Oathsworn. Nabatean swords 18, 22, or no, 72. Is this... I'd love when these formations go weird like that. Lusitani nobles going in, Oathsworn going in. So they're going to make a fight out of it, that's for sure. Some of the Carthaginian stuff kind of went all the way around, but they got caught up with Aravaki back here. So we're going to get double Lusitani noble stack here. But in the process, does anybody have archer ammo or slinger ammo? These guys are firing. All these are out of ammo. But these guys are shooting at those nobles. And I think the archers on the hill are shooting at the Oathsworn. Is he going to come around the building? No, it doesn't look like it. We are getting a little sneaky here. Lusitani noble general sneaking through, and he's going to go engage Iberian swords. Nabatea's counterattack really just sweeping up the dregs from behind. Army losses starting to kick in. We still have the Carthaginian general. Is he alive? Probably not. I mean, it looks like he is. I'm not sure why we still have a minute 21 when it looks like everything's breaking. I mean, a lot of stuff is just wavering. It hasn't broken yet, but still. It may just be, dude, like these Lusitani nobles maybe are going to hold out for a little bit of time. Good jabby toss. Good jabby toss. I don't know how he double clutched that, but now he's going to take on Iberian swords, get a bunch of kills, then probably break. What I would do, if you haven't already, well, he probably did already because he's exhausted, but I was going to say a headhunt would probably be due at this point. Carthaginian general is going to be a dick, apparently. Asshole. What a jerk. I'm not staying here. I'm not going to die for this cursed city. I'm leaving. I'll find a different Carthage somewhere else. And that is it. All right, let's look at some kills. So, starting off for the defenders, we have Not So Mexi as Massilia with 1,534 kills. I mean, pretty just kind of average. You know what I mean? Massilia is not something that's really going to stun you with kills most of the time. Ervaki being commanded by Dairy Farm with 2,582 kills. Cavalry pretty much all did pretty good. His infantry did pretty good. 212 on an Iberian sword, 254. Slingers all did good. We've got Tidirond as Nabatea with 2,392 kills. Look at the Desert Heavy Lancers, 264, 424. Nabatean Heavy Archers all did good. Infantry all did okay. He has a lot of it left, though. 186 on Nabatean Axe Warriors is pretty solid. For the attackers, we have got His Imperial Majesty Trump, who is actually Alton, and he's commanding Nervii, 1,353 kills. You know, I mean, it kind of is what it is, you know what I mean? He brought mostly Celtic Warriors and Oathsworn. His Oathsworn did good, his Celtic Warriors didn't. Bloody Strangers, Carthage with 1,736 kills. Most of the infantry pretty much did okay. You know what I mean? Not so hot, not so bad, just kind of right down the middle. Archers did pretty good. And finally, Grey Wolf as Lusitani, 1,728 kills. Honestly, did better than I thought Lusitani would in this situation. But, you know, the veteran shield warriors basically pulling all the weight here. That is going to be it for today's battle. Thank you guys so much for joining. Now, like I said, this was a wholly in-house matchup. All of these players are all people from the Dragon Core Discord. Now, if you are not part of the Discord, it is linked in the description. That is where we play our games, not just Rome, but, you know, we play Warzone, we play Crusader Kings 3, we play Left 4 Dead 2, all sorts of stuff. So if you guys want to get involved in that, if you want to come hang out in the chats with us, please feel free to join the Discord and come hang out. That is going to be it. Thank you guys so much for joining. And don't forget, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you guys next time.